right. So we're here at Club 360 with New Japan's Henare, and today we would go through some basic concepts of pro wrestling strength and conditioning. So usually for pro wrestlers, many of them train like bodybuilders a lot, which is fine, but especially once you do any physical activity like pro wrestling, MMA, like there are a lot more things probably you should pay attention to. And so for me, the first pillar would be power. Power would be any clean and jerk, medicine ball. We did with Henare. Explosive stuff. We did the banded push-ups, they were good. Today we did some banded deadlifts. So with any power stuff, usually we want to have a couple of reps rather than the tank, which means we don't want to go all out, but still explosive. And even for us today, you still had plenty of room to go.
That's a big mistake that the wrestlers, especially in Japan, make, is that dojo style, 1,000 reps,
just all out. And another thing with power is usually people lack the strength and people lack the muscle mass for the power. So they start with some Olympic weightlifting, and which is fine for practicing technique, but to create power, usually muscle and strength help a lot. Usually rep range would be something between 3 to 6, keeping a lot in the tank, still again working really on technical perfection almost.
Smashing it up.
Strength would be the second really big one for us, and strength would be anything probably above 80% of your 1 rep max. Heavier stuff, staying far away from technical failure, and just again risk reward ratio is so high, and you still get a lot stronger and still can get really, really strong with probably 2 reps in the tank for you. Usually we do a lot of big compound movements. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. Could be bench presses, could be deadlifts, could be overhead presses. We did last time overhead presses. Increasing slowly the weight while still keeping the technique pretty much in perfection. Rep range, same again, 1 to 6 reps, could be anything. Next part would be the fun one, your favorite one, bodybuilding. Again, really fine, and usually to build a big mass, that's the easiest way to go.
Yeah, but I do think people focus too much on one. Rather than, a bunch of all the different things.
Yeah, especially nowadays you see with powerlifters, it's like only strength, and then they lack the muscle mass, and they can create it. You have a lot more potential with muscle. You don't need the muscle to get stronger, but probably it will help you long term. Bodybuilding stuff will be again typically 8 to 15 reps, could be even 30 reps for certain. Probably for you guys, maybe a little bit lower, in the lower end. We can go all out, we can close to failure, biceps machines. It could be really a mix of whatever you feel the muscle. Sometimes you tell, I'm not sure with this exercise, I'm feeling it. Plenty of options.
And there's always the niggles, so shoulder damage. Think about that one a little bit more. We're good at pointing out little things that hurt, like you said today. Just a little less reps on this side.
Yeah, you still can. There's always a lot of freedom, a lot of things we can adjust. Fourth pillar number 4 would be Rehab. This is the least favorite one of all. Usually smaller muscle groups. Again, think about your band work, band pull-up arms, face pulls, glutes, hips. For you recently, a lot of hip glute stuff.
When we're on tour and you get something sore, you stop doing it, but then on the next tour, you forget about it completely, and then just forget about it, and then
something else takes over.
What do you call it? Compound.
Weight wouldn't be much of an issue there. You just use whatever. It could be 1 kg even sometimes for rotator cuff exercises, and there's no one looking at you for using 1 kg. There's no Olympic gold medal for doing the heaviest face pull in history, so keeping this a little bit on the lower side, really. Forms, slower eccentrics could help with those things. Again, physiotherapists usually know a lot about those. And those exercises we usually put or for the warm-up, in between exercises, and even at the end, sprinkle them a little bit, and I think go a long way for longevity. Really important in the sport, in any sport. Cardio would be the last one, so that's how it was. Cardio, again, no one's favorite. I'm not a big fan of doing any dumbbell circuits, or I want to keep it as much out of the gym as possible. Do it a lot more specific. Again, for me, with a martial art background, usually sparring or hitting the heavy bag. There's a lot more carryover. Same for you guys, probably.
Directly applicable to what the movements you do and
grappling. Even for us today, we did some striking rather than letting you run on the treadmill for. Which would be fun to watch. Actually, we could make a whole clip out of that, but just keeping this a little bit separate. Cardio will still give you the benefit in the ring, long-term health, so people shouldn't neglect it neither, but separate sessions rather.
I think it's more fun as well than just is, for example, I think about it the same way as interval training.
Yeah.
But it's just rounds instead of
yeah.
1 minute rest. It's more good. Like, I don't know the science behind it, but I feel like the mind-body connection is a lot better than just like sitting on a treadmill going like that.
Lighting the midst of me on fire. That always helps.
Wow.